Now, in this video, we're going to take a look at entrepreneurs and how they contribute to Georgia's economy. So, an entrepreneur is someone who takes a risk of starting a new business, whether it be a good or a service. So, as an entrepreneur, you are your own boss. You are not an employee. So, some of the traits that come in handy to be an entrepreneur is you have to have a high motivation to achieve. You have to have a solid work ethic. You must be independent, have strong leadership skills, a good business instinct and skills, and you must believe in your product and yourself. So when you're starting a business, let's say, for example, I want to start a business selling hoodies. So I have $1,000 that I'm going to invest in my company to start selling hoodies. So that $1,000 is going to pay for my merchandise. So that's for my expenses. So like the hoodies I need to sell, the printing material, the ink, etc. So my goal as an entrepreneur is I want to make back my money I invested and then some. So what that is referred to is a profit. So let's say I buy a bunch of hoodies for $10 a piece to make them. Because I want to make a profit, I'm going to sell those same hoodies for $50. So I'm making a $40 profit. So this kind of incentivizes me to take a risk to start a business, which again, in turn, contributes to Georgia's economy through taxes and etc. So like KFC, we know KFC sells chicken. So Colonel Sanders was 65 and he took the risk of starting a chicken business, and his risk paid off because KFC is one of the biggest fast food chains in America, making over $3.1 billion in revenue. Now, kind of what I said earlier, that $1,000 that I said I saved up to invest in my business, that would be my startup fund and all of my expenses. So, like the machines, the hoodies, etc., those are my expenses. Now, of course, as with anything, starting a business is a risk. So, I take the risk of my business flopping and I lose everything, my money and everything. But you can also take the risk in your business be a success. So it can go either way, depending on what kind of marketer you are and what kind of product you're trying to sell or service you're trying to provide. So like Steve Jobs, he took the risk of starting Apple, and Apple, of course, is one of the biggest cell phone technology companies here around. Same with Walmart. Sam Walton took a risk starting Walmart, and it paid off because Walmart is one of the biggest grocery store chains in the world. Now, there are several industries that also help contribute to Georgia's economy and economic growth. So, the biggest one that really brings our moneymaker in Georgia is the agriculture industry. So, we make over $71 billion annually off of selling things like cotton, peanuts, pecans, etc. The second way we generate a lot of money in Georgia is the entertainment industry. So, remember, we talked about film and how film generates a lot of jobs and revenue for our state. So a lot of the reasons people come down here to film movies is not just for the location, but also because many the governors usually incentivize film directors to film their stuff down here because they give them a tax cut. So of course, if you want a tax break, you're gonna want a tax break. So they come down here. So the entertainment industry generates $6 billion annually for Georgia. The manufacturing industry, so a lot of our cars we drive, heating and air systems we have, etc., are made down here in Georgia. So this industry generates over $61 billion annually. So for example, like Kia's. And then you have the service industry. So whenever you go anywhere in any kind of business or company, there are people that are working. They're providing a service to you to make sure you have a good experience and to also help run the company's day-to-day services. So, for example, when you go on Walmart, you have cashiers, you have stockers, you have greeters, etc. They're providing a service and helping with the day-to-day operations of Walmart to make sure you have a good experience. Therefore, in turn, you're spending your money with the company and that money is invested or given a portion of it to Georgia's economy, which helps our economy grow. So this also helps with tourism. So, like for example, if you go to the Brasstown Ball or the Georgia Aquarium, there are people that are working and providing a service by showing you around to make sure you have a good experience. And then the last way that really helps Georgia generate revenue is the technology industry. So a lot of our technological things, aerospace things, airplanes, etc., are built down here in Georgia.